Alright, back on the exhaust system on the panhead here. So we got the bracket made up here a couple days ago. Here's the muffler. Here's the muffler clamp. I had to open the holes up for 3/8 bolts. And we need a can here for a shim, so pulled out of the garbage. So Coca-Cola is not sponsoring us. So, just in case you were wondering. I think somebody walked by and threw it in the trash. Alright, so now I gotta get the clamp to fit. That'll be fun. Blown up? No, it's not blown up. Just too close. Okay, so first thing I gotta do is get the muffler clamp, fit around the muffler. So, this I had to bend around, way too close. Alright, so I'd open up to drill the hole out. So I gotta bend it back. And that just broke. Wonderful. Only clamp in the building too. At least you used one. It's always fun when everything works out perfectly for you. Okay, so now that needs to be welded up before it breaks the rest of the way off. How much chance is that's going to be? Alright, so we're going to go weld this back together. We'll be back unless I can find a new one. I'll take a look. Alright, we're back. Got a little weld in there. Weld it from both sides, dressed it down. Better than new. It's amazing how much better my welds are when you got welding gas in the welder. The tank ran dry, I guess, when I was welding last. Probably explains why the welds weren't so nice looking on the last job I did. I think that was welding this. Yeah, makes a lot better. Imagine that. Alright, so I go back to putting this back together again. And we got too close again. Alright, so this time I'm going to bend this. Maybe it won't break off. Oh, look at that. It doesn't break this time. Amazing. Let's shade a bolt. One bolt. What's up, Scooby? Scooby's back. Scooby's back. What are you doing down there, Scooby? Scooby wants something. I think Scooby wants to help. Alright. There we go. Trying to get that back to round is just a little pressure. I'll put this on the right direction too. Are you back, Scooby? What do you want, huh? What's Scooby want? Big water leak over here. Took the master cylinder, dumped all the fluid out of it. Now I don't have to change it now. Self-cleaning. A shorter bolt. Let's see what we got around here close. Nothing. That's what we got close. We got nothing. Give me a bolt real quick. How quick is quick? That's probably more work than the bolt was. There we go. So much hardware. Wonderful. Looks like there's nothing around here with a bolt in it. That always makes it interesting. That's not the right size clamp, which makes it even harder to do. Alright, we'll skip that one for now. I always thought I wanted to put that on there. Nice. Stupid ass bolt won't go through the hole. To make pliers for. Yeah, see if you get the pliers on there. Now the problem is the bolt won't go through the hole right here. Hurts. Not puts in my hand. Yeah, that way it won't go because it doesn't have the right angle. Exhaust up on there. Found a good spot right there. I'll tighten that clamp down, see if it pulls down on the bolt. On the exhaust pipe, muffler. One of those words. Yeah, there's my zip gun. Zip gun's right here in front of me. See how the muffler rotates here? That means that clamp isn't tight enough. So we're going to have to cut up the Bergy can here and put a couple laps of this around it to tighten it up. And hold it on. Either way, it's holding it close enough for now to get this figured out. We gotta go back to figuring out how to make these head pipes fit over here better than what they are. So everything's kind of barely installed at this point. We don't have heat shields on here yet, which I'm sure is going to affect everything. Out there, it's banging hard. So we're hitting the oil pump there, hitting the boss down here on the swing arm, damn it, and the footboard mount. Not engaged very much in the front pipe, and the back pipe is in there pretty good. But you can't go forward because we're hitting on this. Can't go in because the oil line's in the way. So you have all these things you're hitting on that are keeping you from moving the pipe the way you need to be. So right now we have real close oil line clearance right there. I don't know if you can see in here or not. right in there. You got a lot of clearance right there. Next problem is we're hitting right here, and we're also hitting right up under there, so you can't do too much that way. This pipe here is engaged pretty good, but we're barely in on this one. This here can maybe go forward a little bit, but we're hitting right here, so we can't go forward. This exhaust pipe here is up on the head pretty good, but we're hitting hard up under here. And we don't even have the heat shield on here yet, which is going to make it move forward. So we're hitting the mount right here. So this pipe here is a little bit on the short side. They make these things in all different lengths and stuff for what's available. So you have to match up your pipes. And the weird part about this one is, see how this is only this much is all you got to work with. So that's probably why this pipe's not going in. This crossover has been cut so short. But at the factory, because it is chromed, they have no engagement here. Look at that. There's only about 3/16, about 5/16 of an engagement on that pipe. So this S pipe is not made quite right. That's why it's sticking way out. The problem is this one we have over here. This one appears to have a little bit more here. It's so stinking loose, the pipe just rattles around in there, so it doesn't engage. So it's cut too big, even though it's cut longer here for the pipe. It's made wrong. So you got two of these are made wrong, but that's what you get these days. Crap made wrong. Alright, so I'm going to have to make me up a bracket to go in here. Right now, I got to shove that out a little bit like I just did, so I got room between the oil line and the bracket when I weld it in. So I just slid this whole pipe out a little bit. This will tighten up here, we're alright. We're right up against the bolt head under here, so I'll probably have to dimple the muffler slightly to make the clearance. I can either go on this hole or this hole. Obviously if I go on this hole, it's going to raise the pipe up because you can see how it's at. The clamp's going to raise, there's more gap in here, it's going to move it up. So I'll leave it on the back hole. So we got a clamp got to put in here, and we got a clamp bracket right there. And then Harley, they used a double clamp, which I thought I brought out. Somewhere around here is a double clamp. Which I probably left someplace. Yeah, like over here. So I'm not sure if these are going to fit or not, but this one goes around here. This one goes around the frame, and they actually bolt together like this. They bolt them like this, right in here. And that's what holds the down pipe from going down. And then you got these heavy duty clamps here, which hold them up here on the head, right here. So you got to deal with that. This one here, I'm not sure what size this is. Maybe that's the one that goes back there. Doesn't look like it. Looks like these are all 1 3/4 inch. But these should be 1 7/8. I got to measure them. Alright, so right now I need to make me a bracket that goes from this hole down to the frame so I can weld it on. I got to take it back and weld it. So I have to find a piece of strap metal, measure it up and cut it. So I'm going to go do that, and we'll be back. Okay, we're going to try to get this front pipe to fit a little bit better. So right now we're hitting right about in this mark right here. So go ahead and beat it on the floor in here with a piece of wood. Dimple it. Dimpling tool. Dimple with a round side. You hit it on a piece of wood, it doesn't need to bend it too much on the other side. Alright, so there's a light dimple in there, not too much yet. So, even more, this wood's a little bit too small, too much bounce. Gotta hold it down to get more dimpling effect. I got a little more of a dimple in there now, see. Alright. I'm going to see how that fits. Go back up to the bike up here. See if it clears better. Definitely got clearance in there now. Dump a little bit higher up, it looks like. Flashlight. You can dump a little bit higher up, about a quarter inch higher. Yeah, angle's not too bad. A little bit more up. Bang yourself works good too. Alright, so I'm going to go back down here. Okay, I need to go a little bit more deeper this way, and gotta go up higher. Alright, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I just got the bracket made right here. I got oil line clearance there. We're okay right here. We got a little bit of clearance up under here now when I put that pipe in. So I got a really crappy tack weld up under there because I got no room to get to it. So now I can go ahead and take the exhaust off. I can go ahead and weld this bracket on for real. So you can at least get this stick somewhere so you can get to where you can weld it. I also drug my welder all the way up here in the front where I don't usually fabricate up here in the assembly area. But it's too damn cold outside, so we'll have to sacrifice and do it up in here. Oh, got one. Now. Alright, so now I can put a bead on here and do it right. And hopefully nobody else will see it. Pretty nasty looking. It'll look better this time. Alright, we'll be back. Okay, got the weld done. So you can see got a decent bead going. This is all when I first put it in, but anyway, I just gap filled it. Got away both sides. Can't do the back side, just gotta live with whatever you got. So it's not gonna come off of there. Ooh, it's hot. Only got a little bit of a fire under here. That's pretty good. So anyway, that's all on there. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up a little bit. Put a little squirt a little paint on that one. Squirt a little paint on this one right here. And we'll, of course, you got to take it off. And we'll put the pipes back on it. See how it looks. So, yeah, I got to see about the heat shields too. So, alright, we'll be back. Okay, I got the bracket all painted up here and painted the back one. I got the clamp onto here. I still have to make up the Bergie can right there to go on that, which I haven't done yet. And I got to hang the front exhaust on here. Actually, I also didn't do anything around the frame up there yet. Right here. I don't know if that'll fit in there or not. That's for another application. Okay, then he wanted to do heat shield, I think he said, which he didn't bring. So we'll grab them real quick. Okay, so we got 2 heat shields. Oh, something on the floor. Don't want to hit the floor, something good. Hit the hammer. Way too stinking close to see anything. It's probably a video to work by yourself. So you think you're all ready to go, and you're not. One plastic bag. Oh shit, there's another plastic bag. Everything's got to be triple wrapped from China. There we go. Yeah, it's all unwrapped now. Amazing how that works. Yeah, this one's only going to be room for a short. A little short length up in the front. I'm not even sure if there's room for that much. Right at the limit. So we're right about where the beat mark is at. So we're totally collapsed on the front pipe. Alright, there's that. Now I gotta put on our rear pipe, so I gotta take this apart. I don't want to come apart. It's a nice tight fit. Those exercise machines, see? I won. And of course, now I'm tired. Okay, these you kind of rotate them to put them on. Tends to work better. There, that actually look a little better now. Okay, then that goes back on this lower part. We're also going to need a clamp here, clamp here. I don't use Allen bolts, and these things are worthless. I use a hex head bolt with a standard lock washer. Good luck in finding that quickly around here. Okay, so I'm going to go look for a bolt here that's this length. We'll be back. More missing parts. Okay, I got some bolts. Put some oil in the threads. This one's been welded on, not quite in the right spot, so it's probably going to bottom out. So now I got to check to see if that's going to even work. Have my doubts. So goes on tight, so that's a good sign. So that means it's going to be a pain in the butt to put on. So we got to do it now. Alright, so I'm going to spread this out and put it on right now. Okay, maybe I'll move this around a little bit once we get it in there. I think it needs to be over about that area. Maybe not quite that far. I'll try that spot. Of course now it doesn't fit because it's at an angle. That's about normal for this stuff. Bolts have to bend to fit. Okay, hopefully it'll go on the head though. That'll be the next problem. Alright. See, this one here, we're going to want to go on this direction. Right there. I'm not talking to you. Spectators. Alright, there's that one on. It's not even close to where it should be. Alright. That looks about right. White pipe. Obviously it's wrong. Okay. A little bit of adjusting there. Once. Probably blew away. I need a lock washer now. You nut. Alright, still nice and flexible. Okay, now I'm going to try to get this one up in there. Sixteenth of an inch short. Probably that stupid bolt I just put in there. Why won't that even go on there? Now, of course, the lock washer disappeared. It's one of these lock washers. lock nuts you have to worry about the lock washers. It's easier going to the new drawer than digging through the old crap. Alright, oil line's in the way, can't even get the damn wrench out. Okay. The wrench fell out. Now this heat shielding over here, there's no room for a clamp. Right there. I have to shorten this thing to make it fit in there. So we have no clamp on that one. It's just going to have to work its way with what it's got. Alright, yeah. Now we got to do on our other clamp. Right here, which I didn't put on yet. There we go. Okay, now I got to make my birdie cam out. Should be one of these. So, good place to work on this is on the floor. So, first thing I do is cut it off and see this strip. Close enough. I need about 2 routes. Where's our clamp at? Okay, the clamp appears to be about that wide. 2 of them probably. About this wide here. Alright. Looks almost dead perfect, see? Okay, now we got 2 of them to work with. Split them in half. Now you can clean these up with a little pair of tin snips, or a pair of scissors work really good, which if I had a set. I'd have to hunt down about an hour to find a set, so we'll skip it. Okay, it's already got water on it, so it's perfectly clean, right? So basically just wrap this around the pipe. Okay, looks like we'll get a little over one wrap per unit. So if we put 2 of these on here, we'll get 2 pieces on. It's twice as much holding power. Alright. There you go. One custom wrap. Now that can be cleaned up later by someone that cared. That would not be me. Not right this minute anyway. That's for an owner to work on. Okay. Look pretty. Put the clamps down here where they won't bottom out and ground too hard. Okay. It seems to be in there. Tight. That one a little bit first, and bring in the back one. Nice and flexible. That's special. Here's this muffler's way oversized. Great. So we got another nice ill-fitting piece of crap here. There's a real shocker on this bike, huh? Alright, so this here appears to be not made to fit on a Harley. You would think it would be, but obviously not. So this has to be tight to keep this from rattling around. Now when I tighten up this here, this will tighten this up here. That'd be good, but right now I'd rather tighten these things up here first before I tighten these up here. I can still move these around a little bit by beating on them if I need to, but this is not tightening up. So this here is going to take a lot of wraps of material to take up the slack, or this is going to have to be somehow swedged back down, which would be kind of hard to do. This clamp is really tight and it's not doing nothing. This here back here, tighten this up now so it's not moving around all that much. I've got the tip straight. This here is obviously in there good and tight. It ain't moving anywhere. And this one here is good and tight here. We just have to tighten this up here and we'll be good up here. So even though we don't have the clamp in here, I don't think it's going to be a problem. And we still got our hydraulic line right here we got to hook up later. So that'll be tomorrow's project. So we got to get some kind of a sheet metal in here, more than just a Berge can. It's probably 30 thou per side at least. Some nice fitment of parts. Alright, so I got to deal with this. And this here is ready to tighten up over here. So we'll tighten these clamps up here at least a little bit. Just get that much done. Okay. A low shot. Feeling like an Allen wrench, you can actually tighten hex. There. The rear one over there fits a little better. Before I do that, it likes being in that spot it was in. Alright, that's tight. Okay, so the pipes are tight except for the muffler, which is I have to work on later. So, now this is good and tight. We rotate around so we got good access here with the wrench. This one here can come toward me just a little bit more than what it is, but we can still get in here and clear the fender as we tighten it. Here, obviously, we have access. But it could be rotated back around. I'd have to loosen up and beat it forward a little bit to get more clearance. Well, at least it's in there decently. Alright, so that one there is good. So that's good, that's good. This is all tight here. It's good and tight. See, nothing's moving. It's just when we get back to here we got the problem because this clamp's not doing its job. So this needs to be tightened up. The factory, they had on the rigid frame there was a bolt back here that came off the frame, but the swing arms they don't have that, so we just have to tighten this up. So I'm going to do something to get that shimmed up and tighten it. But that's it for tonight.